Hey, hockey fans, how's everybody doing? It has been a while. Took a break there with that All-Star weekend and Pro Bowl and just a fun weekend of sports with the skills and then the All-Star game. And now, obviously, a serious weekend coming up, the final football Super Bowl. Going to be an exciting game, going to be a good game. I can't wait to see it. Also looking forward to some more great hockey. Been watching some good hockey, enjoying that. And I thought I would do a video for Friday games and post results as I've been doing. I think I still have to post the last video's results, but I've been trying to stay on top of that, and I think I'm just one behind. So I will keep doing that to be as transparent as possible. But Friday, February 11th, 2022, there are 4 games on the board, so we'll talk about those. We'll make some picks, and we'll see how we can get the weekend started. First one, we have a Central Division matchup. We got Winnipeg taking on Dallas. Dallas has Braden Holtby listed to be in net. They're 6-4-0 in their last 10 with a current 1-game winning streak. Winnipeg also with a 1-game winning streak, 3-5-2 in their last 10, and Connor Hellebuck listed to be in net. Numbers 5 and 6 in the division here, these teams. Dallas, they came back after the break and played a game against Nashville. Literally a back and forth game right up until the third period when it was 3-3, and a goal by Luke Glendening for the Stars gave them the 4-3 victory. Jason Robertson with a pair in the game. Ropey Hintz also finding the twine. Shots 27-23 in favor of the Stars. 2 for 6 with the man up and perfect on the penalty kill. Braden Holtby slotted to be in net here. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see Jake Ottinger. I mean, Ottinger is so strong at home. He's got an 11-3-0 record at home this year. And Dallas, I mean, it doesn't seem to matter who's in net. They got a good home record, right? They're 16-6-1. Probably one of the reasons they're favored in this game. Winnipeg, they're coming. They came back off the break with one of their best wins of the season, and that was against Minnesota. Really close, tight game. Scheifele with a power play goal in the first period, which ended up being the winner. And then Nick Schmidt with an empty net insurance goal at the end to make it a 2-0 final to give Winnipeg the W. Connor, who obviously was at the All-Star game as well, he had a helper on both goals. And Connor's just having a great season. 5 points in his last 3 games, 2 goals and 3 assists. This is a second game in a 4-game series between these two teams. November 2nd, the Jets found the W. It took a shootout to determine the winner, 4-3 for the Jets. And Moneyline has the Jets as the dog here, plus 140 or 2.4. Dallas favored at minus 160 or 1.62. Over under set at 5.5. You know, I think Dallas... I think this game could go the distance. I wouldn't be surprised if it takes extra time. Comparable groups. I think Dallas could edge out the win. I think I'll look at Winnipeg on the puck line plus 1.5 because I think they'll be in the game. I just don't know if they're going to be able to get the W. I look at common opponents. Winnipeg only winning 38% of those matches, whereas Dallas getting 55%. I think Dallas is just going to get the W here. I think Winnipeg will put up a fight, but Dallas is going to be my pick. Next game we talk about are the New York Islanders against Edmonton. Edmonton has Mike Smith listed to be in net, 5-4-1 in their last 10, current 2-game losing streak. The Islanders with a 1-game winning streak, 6-4-0 in their last 10. Sorokin listed to be in net for New York. The Oilers, another Canadian team on that trend of firing their coach and some staff. You know, Edmonton's played 2 games since the break. First one was a 4-0 loss versus Vegas, and their last one, Wednesday, a 4-1 victory for the Hawks, another loss for the Oilers. 1 goal in their last 120 minutes of hockey. And the media, I mean, all over Edmonton, right? What's wrong? What's going on? Why are you losing? And I don't think it's as bad as the media is building it up to be. If I had a concern, it would be goaltending. I think it is an issue for Edmonton. We'll see what Smith does, if he's going to turn it around. I mean, he did look pretty good in that game against Chicago after he let in those first 2 quick goals in the first period. Besides that, I thought he looked pretty good. But with Koskinen out with COVID, you got Stuart Skinner backing up Smith. So, yeah, likely Smith will get the nod here. New York, they played their first game back off the break against Vancouver. Wednesday doubled up the Canucks 6-3. Big first period, 5 goals in the first frame. and then they hung on, played a full 60 minutes to get the W. All goals scored were on 5-on-5 play. Neither team able to get one with the man advantage. Sorokin with a strong performance, stopping 34 of 37. All 6 goals for New York from 6 different guys, which is great. I always like that. Now they come into Alberta to play back-to-back hockey. Edmonton Friday, Calgary on Saturday. This game concludes regular season play. Teams began 2022 January 1st playing each other. A game, another one that went the distance, was determined in overtime. 3-2 victory for New York. New York listed as the dog here, the visiting dog, plus 125 or 2.25 for New York, minus 145 or 1.68 for the favorite Edmonton Oilers. Over-under set at 6. You know, the Pacific Division is so tight. I mean, the top 7 place teams all are in this game and in this fight for a playoff spot and to have a great season still. It doesn't matter who you talk about. The Oilers, 49 points in 5th, 10 points behind first place Vegas, but they got 4 games in hand. They're not in as rough a shape as the media leads on. So look out for Edmonton. And, you know, I know some guys are going to be saying teams respond pretty good when they get a new coach, but I don't know if it's going to happen here against this New York team. New York's a good, strong team. I think they got a goaltending advantage here, and I like the visiting dog, New York, to get the win. That's my pick. Next one, we got a team on back-to-back hockey. We got Tampa against Arizona. Arizona 3-7-0 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. Carl Vejmelka listed to be in net. Tampa with Brian Elliott between the pipes, 7-2-1 in their last 10, current 1-game losing streak. Arizona has played a couple games since the break. A 5-1 loss to Vancouver is how they opened it up, and then their last one Wednesday, they changed it around, a 5-2 victory over the Seattle Kraken. Even though the Coyotes outshot them 36-27, both teams with a couple man up opportunities, neither able to convert. Vejmelka, he stopped 34 of 36, a .944 save percentage. Nick Schmaltz with a pair. Veteran Phil Kessel finding the twine for the first time, I think, in 18 games. So good for him, also getting a helper in that game. Now Tampa on back-to-back after playing Colorado Thursday night. Close game. The Lightning falling short and suffering a 3-2 loss to the Avalanche. It was their first game back since the break. An exciting game, obviously, with those 2 top teams. All goals being scored in the first and second frames, none in the third. Nikita Kucherov and Braden Point finding the twine for Tampa. Shots were high for both teams, 47-38 in favor of the Avalanche. Both teams perfect on the penalty kill. They each had 3 opportunities. Tampa is second in the Atlantic. Teams met once early in the season back on October 28th when Tampa had no problem taking that game 5-1. This game, I think, is going to be different. I think the lines are just wrong on this game. Obviously, Tampa is a better team. They're favored heavily at 1.32. Arizona at plus 245 or 3.45 as the big dog. Over-under set at 6. I like the under here, pays 1.95 or minus 105. I also like Arizona on the puck line, plus 1.5, which pays 1.86 or minus 115. I think they could get the right upset, though. I mean, Vejmelka, I think, is an advantage over Elliott between the pipes. And Tampa, you know, hard game against a tough club, Colorado, and then a travel. I know it's not a long travel, but it's still a travel. They played a late game against Colorado, travel, and then play Arizona, a young, fast team. They could light Elliott up, no problem. And Vejmelka will keep him in the game. I like Arizona here. Another dog is going to be my pick. Last one, Pacific Division matchup. We got Seattle taking on the Anaheim Ducks. Out of all teams that are playing here on Friday, Anaheim's the only one as their first game back since the break. John Gibson listed to be in net. They're 4-4-2 in their last 10 with an overtime decision as their streak. Seattle, a 1-game losing streak, 5-5-0 in their last 10. Philip Grubauer listed to be in net. The Ducks, like I mentioned, first game back since the All-Star break. I mean, they had some good representation there in the skills with Seagrass and then Troy Terry and John Gibson in the All-Star game. I mean, they didn't disappoint. The team's got talent, right? Before the break, the Ducks, they were rolling. They had a 6-game point streak going. And they haven't had a regulation loss since, I think it was January 19th. It was a nice turnaround for the Ducks because before that they had lost, I think, 4 in a row. And those 4 losses were all multiple goal differentials. So It's nice. They need to log some W's, and they need to get wins when they should get wins, right? I mean, Calgary jumped over them in the standings with their win tonight. Right now, Anaheim's in fourth, tied with LA, who's in third, both teams with 55 points. But both Calgary and LA got games in hand over the Ducks, so they need to get these W's. Seattle in last place in the division with 34 points. Their last game, which we just touched on, which was against Arizona when they fell 5-2 to the Coyotes, even though they outshot Arizona. They just could not get much past Vejmelka. Colin Blackwell and Cale Yarncroc scoring for the Kraken. Grubauer with what I consider a subpar performance. Just not having a year, right? I mean, it's just not his season. Seattle's got a minus 41 goal differential. Teams have met twice already. November 11th, it was a 7-4 victory for the Ducks in Seattle. And then December 15th, 4-1 victory for the Ducks at home. And on top of that, I think Sonny Milano should be back in the lineup for Anaheim. Money line, you got Seattle plus 130 or 2.3. Anaheim minus 150 or 1.66. I like the over here too, set at 5.5, which pays 1.9 or minus 110. I looked at common opponents on these two teams as well. Seattle winning 36% of the games, Anaheim winning 52% of the games. I like the Ducks a lot here. Best bet, I'm going to make it the Ducks. I'm going to put 5 on the Ducks as my best bet. And then a parlay, I'm going to do a puck line parlay. Two teams, Winnipeg plus 1.5, Arizona plus 1.5. Those two in the parlay, I'll go 3, 3, and 3. I'm going to go Seattle, Anaheim over 5.5. I like that at 1.9 minus 110. I'll put 3 there. And then I'm going to go the New York Islanders to win that game. I'll go 3 there. Best bet, Anaheim. Parlay both on the puck line. Winnipeg and Arizona. Seattle, Anaheim over 5.5. And then New York to win the game. Anaheim to beat Seattle. Arizona to upset Tampa. New York as the dog to win over Edmonton. And then Dallas to beat Winnipeg. Hope everyone has a great Friday, great start to the weekend. Good luck with your picks. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.